You guys good? Thank you guys for being here. Matt, thanks for all you do. Do want to spend a special thank you to Mitch Barnhart and his staff. This is hard to believe, but this is our 8th year here. And I remember sitting here at our press conference and Reeves sitting over there with his glove on backwards and just thinking like, wow, and now here we are 8 years later. So thankful for that. What a season we had last year. Thank you to the BBN, the support, Kentucky Proud Park. I know a lot of you here covered it. It was an awesome atmosphere, amazing. Regional, loved that team, what they were able to accomplish, and the fans. And so looking forward, as Matt said, to build off of that. If you said to me, Nick, give me one word that you think about of last season, just thankful. Just thankful for players, coaches, staff, BBN, everybody. So right after that, I'll just pretty much walk you through. We got done, and we played so late, and that's good. But the summer's shorter, and the transfer portals was in full swing, and we went right into that recruiting, dealing with our team and our players, and so it was quick. And we actually have some staff changes I do want to talk about. We have our new recruiting coordinator, Austin Cousineau. We welcome him back. As you guys know, one of our greatest players of all time. So first team All-American. He was SEC Freshman of the Year, 3rd-round draft pick, made it to the big leagues. Just welcome him back and his boy Calvin. So we've loved having him in the office and on the field running around. So he's with us. Trevor Fitz is our new director of player development. Trevor is a former player of mine. As you know, Nick Ammirati is also on staff, who I'll talk about in a second, but Trevor came to us from the Tigers organization. He was the associate pitching coach in A-ball. So it's been neat. Tell you a quick story. He and his wife, Abby, were getting ready to have their second child, and Lucy came over to stay with us. And I remember thinking and telling Kristen, this is awesome. We have one of our former players at our house with one of their kids, and they're getting ready to have another kid. And then I thought about it for 2 more minutes, and I was like, you know what this means, Kristen, is I'm just getting old. That's how I'm getting old. So Abby and his kids are here. We're excited about that. And then Nick Ammirati last year, I don't know if you guys remembered, but the NCAA changed the rule on volunteer coaches to where they did away with that, and they have full-time staff members. So Nick Ammirati is now one of our full-time staff members. He's going to run our offense. He works with our catchers, infielders, amazing coach, and he is also a former player. And really cool fun fact is Trevor Fitz was the starting pitcher in 2013 at the College World Series, National Championship Series, and Emma was the catcher. So it's like we have two of those guys back, and his wife Caroline is just a special part of our program. So excited about that. And then last piece, I got a really cool phone call this summer, and Logan Salo's name pops up on my phone, and I take it, and Logan lets me know that, hey, he's retired, he's done playing, made it up to AAA, and wanted to maybe go back to school and just see what maybe coaching would look like. So he is one of our graduate managers and doing a lot of the work on the side and just trying to see what college baseball is about. But to have him back, as you guys know, he was a first-team All-American, All-SEC player. His wife is Sid, and we're just thankful to have them back in our program. So that means 3 former players of mine. I'm getting really old. So real quick, season tickets, it's going great. All of our premium spaces are sold out. Single game tickets are going to go on sale in the next week or so at ukbaseballtix.com. There's my plug for that. We do still have some home plate reserve seating available, so you can check with our ticket office on that. Marketing, a couple things on that. Greg Herbert does an awesome job for us. You guys have seen our attendance numbers. I'm really proud to tell you that we hold the top 15 record crowds in school history in our time here. So, and Greg's been a big part of that. But we have 15 conference games, and we'll have 15 giveaways. So every game we'll have a giveaway to do. Students are going to have a chance to earn some cash, which they love, as you know. So we'll have that in all of our conference games. We have our youth teams. A lot of you have seen that. I think that's so important for us in the community to have those kids run out on the field with us and take the field and stand for the anthem with our players and do that. So we'll be doing that again. So any birthday parties or kids or teams that want to do that. Also want to talk to our fans. Like, we've created this awesome atmosphere at Kentucky Proud Park, but if for some reason our fans can't go to the games, go ahead and sell your tickets on Ticketmaster or give them away. Give them to somebody that can make it, because you guys make a huge difference, and any chance you can get, that would be awesome to do that. Let's talk about our team. You guys know every year I talk about the student, the person, and the player. Our guys crushed it again academically. We had 3.5 fall GPA, which is truly amazing. I want you guys to know this. We've had 13 guys get a 4.0. 13 of our players had a 4.0, which is remarkable. As a person, since June, this is a neat fact, I like numbers, as all you know, we have logged 308 community service hours since June. And I think you guys know Mitch Barnhart made that really clear. When you put this Kentucky jersey on, or you put this UK on your chest, it's more than just about your program, it's about giving back. And our guys continue to do that, which is pretty awesome. And then as players, again, last year we had a bunch of guys that were totally unselfish, and this team's the same. They are committed to do whatever to help the team win. Matter of fact, Coach Ammo comes up with these little themes for our positional players, and today is Teammate Tuesday. So a lot of our rounds are designed to maybe move runners or lay down bunts or execute something to help the team. And I can tell you our pitchers are the same way. It's a very unselfish team. And I said this last year, and I believe this. To win a championship, you have to have the right people. And we have the right people in our program. When you think about our athletic trainers, our strength coaches, equipment staff, student managers, coaches, we have amazing people. And I tell people that all the time. We have an amazing stadium. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Thankful for it. But what makes Kentucky special is the people. And I feel good about that again. I'm going to start with pitching and defense. As you guys know, I do this every year. But last year's pitching staff was 20th in ERA in the country. We could really pitch really well. Coach Rozell's back, does an awesome job with our pitchers. Mason Moore is one of the guys that's going to lead our staff. You guys will have an opportunity to talk to him. Just a special arm. And, looking back to last year's regional win, I think it's awesome that he was a Kentuckian, was on the mound when we got that last out and we could celebrate in dogpile. So he's going to move into a starter role. He's ready for it. He's earned it. His fastball, breaking ball, changeup are all awesome pitches and unique in their own way. So he's going to get the opportunity to start games for us, and that's big for our team, and he's ready for it. Travis Smith's another one. Last year, most of the year he was our midweek starter, ended up being in the rotation, and late in the year, and he's just a special arm. Mid to upper 90s with a great slider, cutter. He's going to be a guy for us as well. Couple guys that have stood out as leaders, the voice of our pitching staff, Evan Byers and Ryan Hagenau have done an awesome job leading. These are two guys that have been in our program. They know what it takes to win, and we're excited about them and the roles they have. And then Jackson Novi's made a good jump from a year ago. He's ready to take his step to the next level. So defensively, a lot of you know this, but we led the country in fielding percentage. We were tied for first place. I really believe we had the elite and best defensive team in the country, and I believe that we have the group and personnel to be right there again. Will we lead the country in fielding percentage? I have no idea, but I feel just as good, if not better, about this defensive unit as I did a year ago. So a lot of key pieces in place there. Positionally, we want to build off last year's success. In SEC games only, we actually led the SEC in batting average. We had the highest batting average of all teams in our league in SEC games only. And as you know, those are the premier arms. So I'm looking to build off of that. Devin Burks is here. You guys will get a chance to talk about him. I mean, the guy's a flat-out winner in every sense of the word. He literally makes everybody in our program better. Everybody. He shows up to the coach's office every day. He lights up the room today. He goes, hey, here we go. He's got all this energy. And I yell down the hall, hey, quit smiling. No laughing in here. It's all business, This guy just makes the coaches better. He makes the pitchers better. He makes the positional players better. He makes everybody in our program better. He's a full-on winner. So I'm thankful that our pitchers and our defense stare at him, because there's no better leader than him. So Grant Smith, you guys will get a chance to talk to. You know what an amazing defender he is. But truth be told, I really believe you learn a lot about somebody by the way they act when things don't go their way. And Grant had surgery in the off season. And what did he do? This summer he rehabbed. And then this fall, he served our team every single inter-squad. He kept charts. He kept quality at-bats. He did every pitch. You name it. This dude served our team every single day, whether it's feeding machines, whether it's doing whatever. And matter of fact, we get to the end of the year and we do peer reviews, and it comes time for votes of who makes you proud to be a Wildcat, who's the hardest worker on the team. This guy starts showing up in every single one of these categories, including first-year players are voting for him. And the reason why is because he's just an amazing human being. And he's primed and ready. He's back healthy. He's going to have a special year for us. He's put the work in, but just a special dude. And then returners that you guys know, obviously Emilian Pitre is our second baseman, second team All-SEC. He's back. Nolan McCarthy's ready to have a great year. Ruben Church, James McCoy, Pat Herrera has had a really good fall and early spring. And then Ryan Waldschmidt, he had surgery in the offseason. He'll be back in the middle of March. So couple of other things here about our team. We have some freshmen that we believe are going to be really good players and get a chance to step on the field this year. We're excited about them. And then the transfer portal has been a big piece to our deal. Pitchers, Johnny Hummel, Trey Poozer, Cam O'Brien, Dom Nyman, and Cooper Robinson are all going to play a major role. And then positionally, Nick Lopez, Ryan Nicholson, Ty Crittenberger, and Mitch Daly have all made their impact, and they'll play a role in what we're doing. So another challenging schedule. As you know, that paid dividends for us last year. Our strength of schedule, RPI, was among the very best at 1 and 2 for much of the year. We play 12 teams against the preseason top 10, and we play 18 versus top 25. So we open up at USC Upstate on the 16th, who's won 110 games the last 3 years. 110 games, some of the best winning percentage out of any team in all of college baseball. So, and then we go out to Round Rock to play Texas State, Washington State, and Kansas, 3 great teams. Then we're at home versus Kennesaw State and Lipscomb. So, and then obviously we have some really good midweek. So RPI is our friend. We believe that in order for us to do what we want to do, we have to do well there. So that's a good thing. I want to mention a couple other people. Dick Parsons, got a chance to spend time with him getting inducted into UK Hall of Fame. That was really awesome. What a special dude, what he's done not only for baseball but for basketball here. That was really neat. Then Ryan Strebe, one of my former players here, 2006 SEC Player of the Year. So that was neat to do that. And then we had a really cool alumni weekend this past fall. Had over 100 family members and alumni total combined come back and hang out with us and be a part of the program. That's been awesome. We still have current players still training. Zach Logue, Zach Lee, Logan Martin have all thrown bullpens. And then even this weekend, we had 3 of our different alumni and their kids running around on the field and just being around our guys. It's been really cool. So thankful for that, and would love to open up to any questions.
Nick, you were here in 07 and obviously 18. You're following up a really special season. What are the unique challenges to that as you try to get to the program to the point where you're in the postseason every year?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. Yeah, when you look at that just in general with our program. But having guys that have been there, done that is so important. And to be able to have some returning pieces is really important, and that's what we have this year. Does that mean that we're going to be able to do that again? No, there's no guarantee for that. You're going to have to earn it every day. And we talk to our guys about earning victory every day, but to have solid pieces back on the mound, defensively, and in the box is really important. And we believe we have that this year, so they'll be key pieces.
Nick, you said last spring that even a 17-game heater, you weren't expecting your team to do something like that. I mean, that's something special. What do you see out of your guys in that fall and in the early spring against each other to make you think, all right, this is a group that can do something? And what have you seen out of this year's group in the fall?
Last year's team and this year's team very similar in the fact that they're just super competitive. The scrimmages last year at times were so competitive, and it was so close, and it's coming down to a play or two. And this spring and in fall have been very similar. Our guys have been getting after it, and they get after each other, which I really like. But they have been getting after it, and I told them this last Friday. In my 20 years of coaching college baseball, there was the best defensive plays I've ever seen in a scrimmage. Does that mean we're going to be able to do that every day? No. but it was unbelievable. I mean, and I just told him that what we're doing is we're just chiseling each other and we're sharpening each other. It's getting harder and harder to steal bases against our pitching staff. It's getting harder and harder to lay bunts down in the right spot. It's getting harder and harder to grind out quality at-bats against some of our staff. And we just keep making each other sharper. And this team's competitiveness is very similar to what we had a year ago.
Nick, I've heard some national publications describe your team as a sleeper this year. How do you feel about that? Do you think that's an accurate depiction or proper expectations?
Well, this is what I know. Until we just do it every year, year in and year out, and we just keep showing up there, maybe it's fair. Maybe it's fair, and that's up to us to kind of change that narrative. I try to stay away from reading those or doing all that. I didn't even know that was the case, John, but if that's what someone wants to say, that's fine. I think really we talk all the time about the only opinion that matters about how we're going to be are the guys that are inside our program, and I want them to focus on that, But a sleeper, whatever it is, as long as we make it, they can say whatever they want about us. We just want to make it.
Coach Hunter Gillum is a guy whose shoes are not easy to fill at first base. So what has the competition been like at first, and who are some options that we could see at that position?
Yeah, Ryan Nicholson has really stepped up defensively and offensively. He's a guy that is going to get opportunities early. I mean, he's earned every bit of it. Another guy is Nick Lopez. So we feel like we have two really good options, and Ruben Church can play there too. So really we have three options. But Ryan Nicholson, to transfer from Cincinnati, from Louisville, Kentucky, another Kentuckian, which is awesome. But he's a guy that has really shown he can do it on both sides of the ball. Yeah.
Nick, last year you had such a great combination of recruited players and portal guys. Like everybody had a great year, the guys who came through the portal. So maybe one who was hurt. I know that you were optimistic about that portal group. Are you similarly optimistic about this one? And how do you go about crafting a group like that? Because you don't take a lot, but you go more for the quality over the quantity, I guess.
Yeah, so, high school recruiting will always be the foundation of what we're trying to do. There's no substitute for having a guy in your program for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, that is where we'll start. But what the transfer portal has been able to allow us to do is to reevaluate our team. And when you look at the draft and everything else, you've been able to correctly identify. And I give Coach Ammo and Coach Roselle and our staff a lot of credit. They spent a ton of time. And with all the video out there, we've been able to dive in and spend enormous amounts of time, effort, and energy trying to get the right fit. And to look at it through a lens of, well, quite frankly, I don't know how many other programs are looking at it through the lens of what we're looking at, right? Everybody kind of has the things that they think are important. So I think our ability to properly evaluate and recruit those guys has really helped our program. And, last year, positionally, we had a lot of guys from the portal play major roles. This year, we have a lot of our high school guys that have really homegrown guys that have just kind of worked their way, and it's their time. So it'll be a good combination of both.
Last year you had great speed up and down the lineup and also in the outfield and stuff. What about this year? Same?
Good question. We do. We'll run the same style of offense. We're going to bunt. We're going to run. I told our team the other day in a scrimmage, we scored 3 runs and didn't get a hit. But we laid down some bunts and we moved runners and we stole bases. And I just said, this one of my favorite ways to score a big inning is through bunting and walks and understand the strike zone. Well, then a couple innings later, we hit a grand slam and we get a big inning. I'm like, dude, bombs and bunts, those are like my 2 favorite ways, okay? I prefer the homer, right? But if you don't have to, we'll do it any way we can. So we'll have that same style. Will we have as many guys with 15 stolen bases? I don't know. But I do believe we're going to look up at the end of the year and we're going to still have a ton of stolen bases and we're going to be trying to create some chaos like we did a year ago.
Are you comfortable with where Kentucky baseball is NIL-wise?
That's a good question, John. I kind of feel it like pitching. Never in my life have I ever looked up and go, what are we going to do? We got too much pitching. And I don't think anyone will ever say, I don't know what we're going to do. There's just too much NIL money out there. So I would just tell you it's a work in progress, and I don't know if you could ever have too much. I hope that's fair, John. Yeah.
How about third base, Nick?
Been a great battle. We've played a ton of guys there. Ruben Church has done awesome. Mitch Daly's a guy that could end up there. Nick Lopez, Pat Herrera. There's been a lot of guys fight for that spot. And I'm going to tell you that that's going to be one of those spots where they'll continue to duke it out. And I think after time, it'll play itself out. But there's been a lot of guys. It's maybe been our most competitive position on the field that guys are fighting for. So, but we feel good about the options we have. Because all four of those guys can do something to help the Cats win. And, we want to have an attacking defense. That is really, really important to our program, to where we're attacking on the mound, we're attacking defensively, and we're offensively trying to put pressure on people. That's what we want to do. We just believe if you do that to 18 and 23-year-olds, eventually over time, they're going to crack. And that's what we're trying to do.
You've been a part of a lot of different teams that have gone deep in the postseason tournaments, including this one last year. Do you see teams that carry over in terms of attitude and work ethic, or do you have to just put that behind you? Do you draw on that, or do you just have to start clean?
I think every year, culture is a word that's been thrown around a lot in college athletics and sports and businesses, and I believe it's something that you have to work on every day. Every day you have to work on your culture, and some of the fastest and best ways to improve your culture are to get rid of the attitudes and actions and the behaviors of things that you don't want and encourage the ones you do. And as a result, as you start eliminating all those things, then as a result you eventually have a good culture, right? So you do that through love and accountability, right? And that takes time. But every year you got to start over. And you know my little quote that I love saying: yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So you have to stay right here today. And we tell our guys, victory has to be earned every day. Just like every season, there's no guarantees. Tomorrow's not even promised to us. So let's make the best day to day. And you rely on the players that you got, it's their locker room. So we got guys like Devin and Mason and Hags and Evan that have really stepped up and been some of our leaders and our voices, and they have to control that. And really we go as far as them. They're the greatest teachers. They're why we have jobs, so we show up every day and we serve them and do everything we can to try to put them in the positions for them to be successful. But it's a daily thing, and you got to do that every day, every day. You can't give any days away either. You'll fall behind. The margin of victory is too small.
Nick, all these other programs could give me the same answer about NIL. How do you work with other programs within the University of Kentucky to kind of properly distribute all that? Do you feel extra competition now? I mean, not only are you competing with other schools, but you're competing against the football team.
Yeah, well, this is what I can tell you. There's a lot of people that love Kentucky, and they want to help. And whether it's help baseball, basketball, football, volleyball, you name it, we just appreciate all the help and the support that we get. So there will be, I've said this from the beginning, I am not the guy that I will never do the comparison game that this sport or program has this and we have this. If someone wants to give because they love football, please do that. If they love basketball, softball, do it. We're all a team and we're all a family trying to do the same thing. So when you view it that way, there's no jealousy or envy or anything like that. I just want all the programs to do well. And if somebody wants to give to a certain sport, please let it all means. But also support our athletic department through the K-Fund and everything else, right? This is just a challenging time. But just keep whatever they can do to help. I just know it's much appreciated.
Nick, how much of an emphasis is it hosting in the postseason? I know that was special, and that's part of your season goals. You want to host the second weekend too, obviously.
Yeah, to be able to do that at home. And you know what? Baseball and softball, I've always said this. It's really cool when you get to host because, you can win a championship on your own campus. Like football, you're off to bowls and you're off other places. And basketball, you got to host, whether it's the Sweet 16 or the Final Four. But in our sports, we get to host events where you can win postseason championships. And you saw what the BBN did at Kentucky Prep Park, and what a home field advantage it was. So to not only be a regional, but also to be a national seed, that's something that we've never done, and that's something I want to keep doing while we're here, is just keep doing things that have never been done before. But that would be extremely important and special for our program. Yep.
Anybody else? Maybe Coach Lawson up here as well.
Yeah, we got to get who I say is the standard of all head coaches, Coach Lawson. She is like, sorry, I'm going to brag on you again. She hates when I do this, and I embarrass her. But guys, I cannot say enough good things about this woman. She makes our athletic department a family. What she does for our kids and for our families and her staff, the way they host events and parties along with our athletic department, this is, I mean, if I ever had a daughter, this is who I would want her to play for. And she's just amazing. And so anyway, I don't want to get all choked up, but she's awesome. So happy you get to spend time with her. Go Cats!